here we go. I heard that whistle blow and she's...
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Music Train. This is Vessy Mink. You are listening to Season 7, Episode 12. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Thank you so much to our amazing band who's here today. Una is here from LA. You guys, they've been together 15 years. They're an amazing band. They just dropped a new single called Puddles. You are going to want to hear everything about this band. Before we get started, check out our sponsors. Big up to Mr. BK Han, co-founder of the Music Train in Singapore. He is the man, you guys. He got me started into NFTs and all the things that a musician can do to level up and basically take back what was never given away. The music industry is yours, you guys. It's yours to manifest, yours to create. We have an amazing band, an amazing show. Let's thank our sponsors, and to the listeners, mwah, we love you. What's up, Una? Thank you so much for being on the Music Train.
Thanks for having us today.
So good to see you. What is going on? We have Jennifer. It's nice, right?
Yes.
I love it.
You have a nice day.
I love it. You have a great name. You're the singer of the band. Amazing. I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Richard Larson, you're the reason why, I ever found out about this amazing band. You guys have been together for 15 years or somewhere around there.
Plus.
which is amazing. How many songs do you have collectively that you've released?
We have
how many albums?
18 albums.
18 albums.
Yeah.
Wow.
And quite a few of those are physical albums. We actually put out vinyl. We did a remix record with Nightmares on Wax and Charles Webster, and I can't even think of all our the Herbalizer. We have this collection of the best remixers at the time to remix our Laughing Man EP, which was, I think that only had 5 songs on it, right, Jennifer?
Yeah, I mean, some of these are like 18 as in there's vinyl, then there's the just digital versions of things, and a lot of these are remixes, but they're also from remixers.
We have EPs and LPs.
Yeah, they had like further ideas to explore, and so we were like, well, we can't just keep these hidden. We got to release these. So
absolutely. Speaking of releases, you just released a song called Puddles. Why don't we give the people what they want? You guys are just going to flip out over this song. I heard so much beauty in this song, you guys. I just absolutely love it. I hear essence of Beatles as well, one of my favorite bands. Just a few notes there. I was like, they have tapped into the freaking golden honeypot here with this song. All right, let's check it out, guys. This is Puddles. You can find it everywhere where music is streamed, Spotify, iTunes, and all the places. You guys go and follow Una. Find them on linktree.unamusic. Actually, that's unamusic.net and linktree/unamusic. Here we go with Puddles. Let's go.
Everywhere there's puddles. Everywhere there's puddles on the ground. Show me all the places I walk. Don't know how I'm supposed to get around. I walk through all the dirt that filled the ground. Got my favorite boots on till I get to the other side. It's never easy. It's never very simple. I don't see the solution. Just try to get across. Everywhere there's puddles. You help me get across. You help me get across. You help me get across. You help Everywhere there's puddles, everywhere there's puddles on the ground. Just tell me all the places I want. Try to get across. It's never very simple. I'm seeing the solution. Just try to get across. Reach out.
Absolutely beautiful. You guys just heard Puddles from the amazing band Una, who are here in the studio for Music Train Season 7, Episode 12. We have Jennifer and Richard here. 2 members of the band. There's one more, correct?
Eddie Barajas.
How do you say?
Eddie Barajas.
Eddie Barajas. All right, I'm gonna have to write that down. I love that name. Each of you has a unique story. You have a way you found each other. I would love to hear a little bit, Richard, from you who have Chicago roots.
Yes.
Is it true you're a descendant of the Wright brothers?
Yes, that's true.
How does that work with your psyche and everything you do? I mean, are you just like, you know, I mean, that's incredible.
It's unusual when you look at it closely, having lived this life. It's been very unusual, I can say. I started out in music when I was just a little kid, and then I became an architect and practiced in Chicago for some of the biggest architects in Chicago. And then I moved to LA and worked as head of production for the largest architectural firm out here. But music was always in my heart. Anyway, the story is this story really starts at I guess KCRW, where I was co-producing a show, a late night show, and it was really great. It was mostly down-tempo trip hop, and we had African music and all kinds of great music. And one day the voice of that show comes to my studio and he goes, "Richard, I just saw this amazing band at what was it, the Conga Room? The Conga Room.
Conga Room, which
And
is
they
no
were-
more, unfortunately, but it was some good times.
So he says, we got to get him in the studio. And within a few days, I saw Jennifer and Ann Montone and Eddie B walk through my front door. And I have to say, this is the nicest bunch of people I have ever met in the music industry. And they were nice to each other. And it was just a novel thing. So I produced their first EP. And Jennifer, by the way, wasn't the vocalist in that band. She was a keyboard player.
Oh.
And yeah. And so the band kind of ran its course. And then Jennifer came to me with a song that she had written with a friend of hers. And she sent me like a demo version of it, and I set it up. And then I had a microphone.
On cassette, she said. That's so awesome.
On cassette. I heard it in your car, come to think of it.
Mhm.
And
Back when cars actually had players of any sort, because now you can't even find like a CD player. So
I have one. I have a CD
You
player.
do? That's amazing.
So she says, come out to my car. You gotta hear this song. I'm like, okay, you know. So I really like the song, and so we set it up in the studio. And she comes in. I have a piano and like a recording room at the time in a house. And so I had everything set up, and I said, okay. So I started playing, the downbeat of the song. And Jennifer starts singing, and no kidding, 10, 12 seconds later, I jump up, I run over to the room, and I look in the door, and I go, oh my God, that's her singing. I couldn't believe it. You just heard Puddles, and I hope that's the beginning of an explanation. And that was the beginning of Una right there.
Oh, I love it. I love how you speak, how you introduce. Jennifer, over to you. What do you have to say about all that?
I second it. We walked into the room as Elephonic, and it was such a great experience. Richard was so welcoming, and when he recorded a few of our songs, and then we were playing at the El Rey in Los Angeles, we were opening for Lee Scratch Perry.
What? That's so dope.
And I mean, our catalog was tiny because we had just started, but definitely Richard and Kevin Lincoln, they produced a show on KCRW, which is like our local LA radio station.
Yes.
College radio, community radio. Yay, community radio.
Yay.
100% we support community radio. And they really were instrumental in getting Elephonic off the ground. We became like, interviewed. We were in Herb magazines, 100 fans to watch.
Wow.
And it was all really a fun experience. And then we dismantled. And then I was like, you know what? I really want to get to know production side of things. And, fast forward to Richard being my mentor and then becoming part of Una. Then we brought in our buddy from Elephonic, Eddie Barajas, and even Ann Montone sang on some stuff. So it was like, okay, this is like a family affair. It's always been that way, and we're all still in LA. So
it's amazing. It's amazing, your story. I love it. I love it. I love how you started off with kindness and how we treat each other is so important, and really the crux of like any amazing musical composition band-wise of people who are really meant to create songs for change. Richard, you and I had a conversation yesterday regarding songs that have really hit it, of Una's in Poland, and where else did you say? And we spoke about songs that change the air in the room. Shout out to David Bearwald on that one. I once asked him, what's a great song? He said, a great song is a song that changes the air in the room. And it's true. Your music does that. Let's go to another song here. How about Dandelions? Tell me a little bit about Dandelions before I drop this one.
This is a song that was in Jennifer and I share a folder where we put, music ideas. And this one had been in there. I forgot the original title, but
it was called Solemn. And it was back in 2017, 2018, and we didn't really do much with it. And then fast forward to April 2023 when we released it. But it's sultry, it's jazzy, and it's one of my faves.
Let's go. You're listening to Music Train with Una and their song Dandelions.
Dandelions in spring always remind me of you. All it takes is one small wind and everything floats away. Dandelions in spring always remind me of you. All it takes is one small wind and everything floats away. We danced until the dawn. The music never died. Our feet were sore, our hearts were swirled but nobody said goodbye. We glided through the night, tired but happy to be. We moved and laughed on western sands, pretending to be carefree. Dandelions and spring always remind me of you. All it takes is one small wind and everything floats away. What we see will pass, wondering what's likely to stay. I will learn to see the end when everything turns to gray.
Just amazing. Just amazing, you guys. You are listening to the one and only Una live here on the Music Train. I'm so happy to have you guys here. Richard and I have known each other for X amount of years, many years. And from the get-go, Jennifer, I also felt this mentor. I didn't have the relationship the same that you've had with music, but we did maybe punctured the surface just a little bit for one little air balloon to kind of, or maybe two, of discovery of what could be possible. I have a question for you about being an independent band as opposed to signing with a label. What kind of advice do you have in these musical times for up and coming musicians and bands to basically navigate with all of the tools that we have at our hands in this day and age?
Say no to everything. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm really surprised that people put out music without thinking about, for instance, college radio. I mean, people in college, I think music is a bigger part of their lives, or just the fact that, people that are the music supervisors running a college stations, they get 300 tracks a week or more, and they have to sort through all that stuff. So they're listening to people, and there's so many great indie artists out right now. Shauna Cleveland, Fleece, Kowloon. I'm just reading these. Tommy Ashby, Tokyo Tea Room, Goofy Geese, the Oracle Sisters. They're amazing. Somersault.
You're amazing. I love
Michael
this.
V. Thomas. Anyway, there's all these like great artists out, and they've I think YouTube has become a source for distributing music, but we wanted to reach a little bit beyond that. So Jennifer and I worked on our very first record together, and in terms of the promotion side of it, she may remember we had two phones, and we were calling all these stations, one by one. They have there's a lot of like egghead nonsense that nobody needs to know about, but basically every station receives your music, but then you have to find out, did they
Yeah, were we added to their station? So you follow up and you kind of have to be that busybody calling the stations. But lucky for us, my brother-in-law was working at Capitol at the time and was starting his music management
Wow.
company, and he had the trades. and he calls us up and he's like, Una's got a #1 debut for unsigned singles right now. Did you know this? And I'm like, well, no, because we don't have access to those charts.
Wow.
That's
Which
a
song?
college Fading in C sharp minor.
Oh, I wish I had that one here right now. You guys are going to have to find it online. Go
Yes.
find Una online. Follow them on Spotify. Follow them on iTunes. Go to their Instagram. Go to their Facebook. And actually, really what we want you to do is to stalk them. Stalk them. You did hear me say it. At unamusic.net. Unamusic, UNAMUSIC.net. Also, their link tree, you can see it scrolling right below. Amazing, amazing guests. I'm so lucky. You guys, shout out to all the sponsors and listeners out there. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Shout out to X, shout out to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, all the places. StreamYard, thank you so much for making it possible for us to host this show on your platform. What do you guys think about the balancing of logistics and cost and touring since you started as to now? And how many tours have you been on? I know you've won some awards as well. I'd love to hear more about all that.
Yeah, I would say that we got really comfy being a studio band more than touring, but we would do these tiny little tours. Like, let's just go up and down California. Let's go to the East Coast for a minute. Echoes invited us for a live performance and interview over in Philly. So we'll make special trips places. Festivals, always require us. We were lucky Eddie Barajas, our DJ, had a van. So we would get in the van and just like go places.
How fun.
But yeah, we were always really kind of a studio outfit and we were very comfortable with that. But
would you take a tour, a European tour?
Oh, that would be great. I mean, like right now, for instance, some of the top countries that they're spinning Puddles and some of our other tracks, Poland, Germany, the UK, Spain, Australia, France, Canada, the Czech Republic, Norway, Netherlands, Hungary, South Africa. I mean,
sounds like a tour to me, guys.
And we don't understand a lot of that because understand it in terms of, well, why is Puddles really huge in Poland? Poland just had an election. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. And Germany too. So our streaming numbers went up 4,000%.
Wow.
Over the last, since we released Puddles, which was in April, just, a couple months ago.
That is amazing.
That's the other side of it. As far as artists and making music it's you have to think about the streaming platforms and then also the college radio. I think that's really important.
So is there a list of lists to get for college radio? And how can I get it? No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
that's like the whole database thing that Richard and I worked on for years.
We created this amazing database of about 2,000
My brother helped
stations.
too because he's a computer engineer.
So
2,000 stations.
Yeah, so it's a file maker, but on top of that, there's so each station has all these shows. So you have to know, well, what shows would your music be appropriate for?
Right.
There's our Una may not be appropriate for certain types of shows, so you got to keep track of not only the stations and the music directors, but also the shows and the schedule. And in college radio, it changes quite a lot. But anyway, we created a database where besides we have consultants, we have promotional consultants, that help us do this, but we have our own.
You could start a record label. I mean,
we actually are a record label.
You're a record. See, I was going to say, people are going to want to follow your blueprint.
Yeah, that's called Cool Jewel Records, and we're also on
What's
Facebook.
it called?
Cool Jewel Records.
Cool Jewel Records, right on. I love it.
But we only at this point we're only doing Una, so I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's a really good band. You should hear them. I heard that they released this book actually about their whole life together as a band, and Vessy Mink bought the first copy. What do you think about NFTs? Before actually you answer that, I wanted to. I love in your bio how Richard, you say you're a refugee from the eclectic Chicago music scene. You came to
Yes.
Los Angeles to work as a house producer at Quango Records. You worked with DJ Crust on the Concrete Jungle compilation on Ultra Records. So the Tulku remixes released on Triloka Records. What's that about? That sounds so
So
interesting.
that was that's another project. I don't want to compare Una to any of that stuff. What happened was, as most musicians travel through this world, you join various bands, and that Telku was really through a bunch of people that were at KCRW in Los Angeles. It's kind of unusual. KCRW is like a tastemaker, styled setter, and they've created a big profile for themselves. And the way LA is laid out, it's very convenient for KCRW to do that. Whereas if you're in New York, there's probably 40 different stations in New York that could compete for that same kind of attention that only KCRW gets in Los Angeles. The late hours, and a lot of them went on to become, nationally known bands like Bittersweet and so forth. And so we were working with bands, doing shows together and things like that.
Very cool. KCRW, an amazing radio station for all indie artists everywhere. I think the world knows about KCRW. Richard, how did you connect with KCRW? I'd love to know that.
Well, basically, okay, I'll tell you. There was a record label in Los Angeles and Beverly Hills called Quango Records, which was run by Jason Bentley and Bruno Gez and another fellow, and I forgot his name. But anyway, so I got called to go over there. I'm kind of a hired gun, or at least I was before Una, and at this record label, we're working on a track, and then suddenly somebody says, "Oh, and here's Jason, and here's Bruno," and I'm thinking to myself, Jason, Bruno, wait a minute. And I understood that these were the same guys at KCRW. And in a couple days, I was over at the station after hours, helping them produce a show. So you won't believe this, but I was there for, I think, 2 years. And one of the administrative people at KCRW came up to me and they said, "You're Richard, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Well, how long have you been here?" And I said, "I think over 2 years." And they we had never met because I'm a late night person. And anyway, long story short, that they eventually were sending people to me to train to produce shows and how
Amazing.
to do it.
That's amazing. Yeah. How cool is that? Meant to be. Meant to be. Let's get another song in. Oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun with you guys. Thank you so much for being our special guest. Another shout out to sponsors, Mr. BK Han and Metaverse Generation, and the listeners out there. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 12 with Una. I have to find out why Una, the name. Let's find out that answer. We're going to go to Are They All Monsters? Are they?
Watch closely now, for you are about to witness one of nature's grandest dramas.
We're all a little sick. Am I your favorite lunatic? Let's celebrate our little wins and rise above our foolish sins. So
At last it tries its wings and rises with majestic power to frolic in the sunny meadows, to seek the sparkling nectar of the flowers, to add a new generation of beauty to this wonderful world.
I don't know what to say, you guys,
That's
besides
amazing.
bravo and bravo and bravo. I mean, oh my goodness. So beautiful. Are we all monsters? Yes, we are. Be careful. Don't be too much of a monster. You guys, you're listening to Una. Una, I love you. I want to know about your name, Una. How did that name? And also the production, Richard, you are freaking God. Richard Larson is a god.
Now wait
Oh
a
my
second.
God. And
No,
Jennifer,
there
your
wasn't.
voice is timeless. Your
Aw,
voice
thank
is
you.
so beautiful. I love the melodies. I can hear influences. I love how unique it is at the same time. You guys are killing it. Man, every band should do what this band is doing. This band has not stopped for many years. They've kept going. They have a discography of, I don't know. Can I share the discography here?
Sure.
Look at this, you guys. Check them out. I have it right there scrolling. You'll have to write it down. It is worth it, you guys. Check out Una. Amazing. Please tell me about your name. Tell me, how did you become Una?
Have you seen The Fifth Element?
Yes, with the actress. Yes, that
Mila
what is
Jovovich.
her name? Mila. I love Mila.
Do you remember the blue opera singer?
Was that the name of the blue opera singer then?
Pava Laguna.
Ah, okay. I'm
And
gonna have
so
to
if
watch
you look
it again.
at the last three letters of Pava Laguna, it's
Yeah.
Una. But also, my mother being Colombian, Eddie being Mexican, and me being a female front, we thought how cool to just, female for one.
Mhm.
And that was actually the namesake of our first LP.
Yep.
So it's like just kind of all these little influences that brought together the
I'm
name.
surprised nobody had the name before us, and so I just want to say too, every bit of the production. I know you can only imagine the amount of work that goes into these songs that we love, every moment of them, to create these moments. I look at songs as we're telling stories, and we get to hear Jennifer's beautiful voice, and 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 but we're
And
creating this moment.
Richard's amazing keys
Oh, thank you, Jennifer.
and the
So
banjo.
And we create these moments where, like, the songs are linear and you experience them in real time, and then you come to this moment, and that's the thing that is to reach this beautiful moment where the song comes together and there's an emotional response. And Jennifer and I worked on these songs together, side by side. All the selections, the editing, making sure the songs reach that pinnacle. We've done it together, and with Eddie, and but Jennifer and I really, there's so many choices when you're recording, and how they turn out, and is this where, in other words, where they end up, is this where you wanted the song to go? And
aw.
I can say I'm just really thrilled with our discography and all the beautiful songs we've created together.
I was really impressed the segment of our creation period where you were singing in the choir, Richard, and you brought all these amazing arrangements for choirs to the table. And the meticulousness that went into the arrangements. And it almost seemed impossible when we went in there to record these very tiny little notes that went all over the place. And we'd have to do 16 of them. But that meant hundreds of takes to get the top 16 to make this blend of voices with your voices as well. And sometimes we would get a baritone if we needed a baritone. And I mean, the work that went in just to the background vocals. And then on that one that you just heard was a children's choir. We had a
Aw,
little children's choir, including my daughter's voice in there. So that was
amazing.
pretty special.
You
I
can
really
hear
love that part. Yeah.
the point of music is to
Well, for me, it's just, it brings me joy, but it's also pensive. So it's not every song is joyful. Sometimes it's heart wrenching.
Mhm. Richard, you probably will agree with what Jennifer said there.
I like there's a lot of art that you get all at once, like paintings and, architecture. But with music, it's this like linear moment by moment experience. And it's like you're leading people on or listeners on to this point in time where it kind of, it's the summation of a particular emotion.
So you wrote the lyrics, Jennifer. How was this song conceived, I guess, initially?
Well, most of the time we start with the tapestry of the music,
Uh-huh.
and sometimes it's just like little riffs, right?
Yeah.
And in this case, it just sounded like it was going to be an easy one to write lyrics and melody to. But we make choices together as far as where the melody ends up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm in love
yeah.
with it. I mean, that was
It's
the first time I
creepy.
heard. Yeah.
But
Say
it's a
again.
question, right? And I love that because I hadn't heard it in a really long time. When you played it just now, I was like, goosebumps. It's
Yeah.
creepy, but it's also, it's like none of us are perfect. Nobody is
Absolutely.
perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yes. You guys definitely let us know what you think about the song that you just heard. Are we monsters? Are they monsters? And I wanted to share with you guys the conception of this show. Do you guys have an NFT? Do you have a digital artifact? Do you have music NFTs yet?
I don't, but I am very interested in that topic. I just interrupt for a second.
No, it's okay.
I always thought that the state of music these days is pretty challenging for anybody to go into music. But if music was an NFT, in other words, a track of music was an NFT, that would be some place I'd be very interested in finding out more about.
Yeah, NFTs are they've been around now for a while. As far as open source, software and that type of thing, they're not that necessarily. What they are is just a receipt, basically, of your music on the blockchain using. I'm sure you've heard of Bitcoin and Ethereum, Polygon, and all of these different blockchains. But basically, to create an NFT, a music NFT, an MP4, you upload to OpenSea.io. And it has to be compressed under 100 megabytes. And there you've created a receipt of it being, you've created a receipt of being created at a specific time that can be measured and date and time. So if we think about copyright and when a song is created, you have to spend a lot of money on those copyrights. I'm not saying that minting songs on the blockchain is going to replace copyright, but it sure does a great job of showing the time and the date that a song was created on the blockchain, which cannot be, you can't corrupt that file because the blockchain never lies. So music NFTs, I've been creating them for, I don't know, maybe 3 years. And Mr. BK Han, the co-founder of this show, he minted my first NFT, a song that I did, which was a co-write with a producer. And I didn't know he was going to do it. He said, send me a photo. I was like, why is he asking me to send him a photo? And I had sent him this song. And it's called We Found a Way. And he said, just give me a few minutes. And I was like, what's he going to do here? And we had just met. But the point is, he sent me back an OpenSea assets link. And I clicked the link and there's my song. Sure enough, on the blockchain on OpenSea. I'm like, I was like, there was no discussion about should I, or any of it. But the thing is, I'd been asking him for like 5 months, how do you mint an NFT on the blockchain? He kind of you could create a wallet on metamask.io. That's the first thing. There's a series of things you're going to want to do. But the point is he did it and I was so stoked. And then it dawned on me, hold on Wednesday produce this. I didn't ask him permission. Like, this is existing. And I said, BK, this is great. You know, he made 2 editions of it because you can make multiple editions. You can make a 1 of 1. You could make it back then. You could make 10 million editions. Now
Wow.
it's only 1,000 that you can make, something like that. But you know, he said, look at it. It says NFS, not for sale. So it's just existing. People can hear it. It's just another way that somebody can hear it. But they can also collect it. They can buy it from you and have that digital asset in their wallet. There are platforms that are now akin to taking all those digital assets in your wallet and playing them kind of like a radio station would. So
That's
it's just
great.
amazing. Yeah. So we could anyway, the show was conceived, Music Train was conceived on a platform called Connect Club. And Mr. BK Han said, because one of my fortes is writing a song on the spot. And we had a few guests, and he basically helped. He conceived and birthed the show with me live on an app called Connect Club, where I wrote songs on the spot with guests who gave a couple words. And so our first season essentially is not visual like this, and didn't stream like this is streaming on all the platforms. It was basically an NFT that was created from the live songs I wrote on the spot with people who gave a few words. So we've got about 12 of those. And so today, guys, those who view this show, you already know it's coming. I'm going to need each of you to give me a word or two or color a scene because I'm going to write a song for you on the spot. So let me grab my guitar. Your melody's still in my head. Are we all monsters? Na, 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 na. I'm hearing it. I love it. I want the remix record as well, guys.
We'll send it.
I want that. I'm hearing harmonies all over. All right. So it's time to write a song. You're listening to Music Train. We're here with the amazing Jennifer and Richard from the band Una. You've been hearing their music. Just an amazing 2 human beings here. There is a third. And if you want to find out where they are, you can go to Linktree to find them on Una Music and unamusic.net. All right, you guys, are you ready?
Ready.
All right. So what are your words or your colorings of a scene? And then I will paint.
Pages. Blue.
Traveling by train.
Here we go. Pages blue, traveling by train. Can you hear their names? Can you hear their names? Pages blue, traveling in waves, like the ocean tames, like the ocean tames. For where can you find their names on sails that they made with hands in pain? Rise, 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 for peace is your name. We could go on and on and on, but I just wanted to do a little flurry.
That was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I love that.
We did it. We did a song together. I'm a collaborator with Una. Yay! I love
Don't
you
forget
guys.
Happy the Man.
You took us some places there.
You know, you took me on places. This is the Music Train. We want to take you places on the Music Train. Shout out again to all of our sponsors. There are a couple more songs here that I have my eye on. Dirty Habits. What is this song about?
How did that start, Jennifer? I forgot. It's a beautiful story. It's a fabulous story. Oh, it's coming back to me now. It's kind of a long story.
Okay.
I hope I won't give it.
Should we listen to it? Should we listen to it first?
Yeah, listen to it.
Okay, let's listen to it first. Okay, here we go. Dirty Habits. I love the name. Love the band.
No more me and you. You came to town with a furrow on your brow. I tried to laugh it off, but I didn't know how. You left the city with no plan to come around. The pitter patter of my heartbeat made no sound. We were through. Nothing more to do. We were done. We were none. No more me and you. Da, 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 da. You shook my mind when you showed up at the bar. You expected me to be working so hard. The place I picked up some favorite dirty habits, the shadows that don't hide what happens to your heart. I offered you a dream. I didn't think you'd take it. I smiled slightly, but I mostly had to fake it. Never thought I'd ever see you again. I thought we'd say goodbye, and that would be the end. We were through. Nothing more to do. We were done. We were none. No more me and you. Da, 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 da. And now you think you sweep me off my feet. You're not the only one to make my heart beat. I still have my list of favorite dirty habits, my secrets, my dreams, they never mold me. We were through, nothing more to do. We were done, we were none, no more me and you. Da, 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 da,
Incredible Dirty Habits, Una. There they are, you guys. Look at how good looking they are. Look at this band. This band is killing it on every level. Sonically, the videos are freaking fire. They're beautiful. They have a beautiful symbiosis of a relationship. They know about transformation. This band has been together for 15 plus years. You're seeing them live on the Music Train, episode 12, season 7. We are so blessed to have you guys on. Thank you so much for being on the show. I absolutely love that song. I've loved every song that I've heard. You guys follow unamusic.net. Follow them everywhere. Check out their new release, Puddles, which you heard at the top of the show. Send your questions. Send your flowers. Una, just thank you so much for being our guest today.
Thank you, Vessy.
That's Vessy.
And I did want to ask you one thing. Actually, this is kind of a, this fan engagement. Is it a thing? How can we engage with fans? Because we were talking about NFTs, and that's one of the positives because you find out who your collectors are specifically. What do you think about how the relationship with your fans has changed, especially with the dawning of LPs? Vinyl is back. Like, how are your shows with fans and new fans? How do you keep a relationship with them? Besides, obviously, through continuing to make bomb ass music.
Socials, I guess, would be a good way to start.
We have relationships with radio people meaning actual, DJs on the air, and we've been doing. We're so happy about this interview and being able to reach a larger audience. And Jennifer and I have done this quite a few times with, there's this odd thing happening where we put out, we stopped making albums about 4 years ago because it seemed like the world is such a busy place and people are so busy. Releasing an entire album is kind of, too much. So we started releasing singles, and that allowed us to, pay more attention to, a track by track experience. And I guess what I'm trying to say is we found that, certain stations picked up on certain tracks. Like one of our tracks, I don't think we have it here today. It's called "It's Okay," and there's another one from an earlier release, "Windshield and Road." And there's several others besides that we wrote, "Fading in C# minor," which turned out to be a trip hop classic. And it's garnered a lot of reverence around the world as a key track in that genre. But the thing of it is that these college radio stations, they will play, they'll play like one song from our catalog, and they'll just play it and play it and play it. And I find that's one way to engage your audience is that they're hearing, the familiarity of your work, and that they might look into other things that we've done.
What song out of all of your songs, your discography, is your favorite, I guess, for each of you is my last question.
That's a great question.
That's a really hard question.
Sorry, I take it back. Sorry, I know that.
Well,
I mean, one of my favorites is "The Myth."
Yeah. There's
The Raft.
Go ahead,
is
Jennifer.
one.
The Myth and The Raft. I love these titles. Who does your videos? Who's doing your videos?
I mean, they're lyric
They're
videos, so it's
amazing.
really
No,
just about like
I
staring
love
off
them.
into space.
I love the mud and the big. I mean, I love them. You are so good at it. It's
thanks.
just
Well,
amazing.
Vessy, do you remember Riverside?
Riverside.
It's in Chicago.
Oh, the Riverside. Yeah, it's a venue, is it not?
Yeah, it was it was the first amusement park in Chicago.
Oh, really?
And when I was a little kid, my parents took me there. And as soon as you walk in, there's all these big rides, like any big amusement park. And I look over to the right, and there's this like little side area where, like the bearded lady and the 300-pound man and all these other performers. And I'm looking down this like little. I'm just a little kid, And
I'm seeing it now too, Jennifer. I can see him too.
And I'm looking down this alley. It's like a dirt road, and coming towards me, and this was like at dusk, is 2 elephants and girls riding these elephants.
Come on.
And I look, they were all dressed up really nice and stuff. And I looked at them, and my mind just went crazy. I was, used to a home environment, going to school, those kinds of things, playing piano. And I'm looking at these girls, and I'm thinking, how the heck did they end up on these elephants? And how do you get how did that happen? And
how old were they? Were they little?
They were like maybe 10, 11, 12. They were like little kids, riding these elephants, wearing costumes and stuff. And my mind just raced like, well, don't you have to go to school? Don't you have to do homework? And what are you doing up on that elephant, So at that moment, I wanted to be an entertainer. I knew that
I love you.
I knew seeing these like, what the heck are they doing up there?
I
just drove me, So
I have to tell you, this is unplanned, but my parents left me with the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus for one day because my dad had friends, the Bulgarians, that walked the tightrope and did the like acrobatics and stuff.
Oh yeah,
it was in Chicago, and so for one day, like 24 hours, I slept in the train. I mean, I was with her name was Yanka. She had this amazing bedazzled, Taylor Swift and all of them are now in these bedazzled circus outfits.
Yes, exactly.
She made those herself, and
wow.
she gave me one. I should bring it out actually next time. I wish that fit me, but maybe I was one of the kids on the elephant, although I don't think I was 9 or 10. I think I was more like 7.
Well, I told this story to Jennifer, and in her studio, she had a bunch of photographs. Jennifer uses all different kinds of ideas for inspiration, art, and experiences, and so forth. So we were just starting out on playing around with this new track, and then what came of it is a song called Elephant Girl. But when we're performing live, when that song comes up, that and Happy the Man, I just feel so great. And the lyrics of Elephant Girl are just perfectly match my experience. And although, I haven't gone into this kind of detail with Jennifer, but that, we both shared this experience of, how crazy is that to be on an
that's one of my
elephant.
favorites too. I love Elephant Girl.
Yep.
It's a women empowerment song, and I get really emotional when I sing that one.
Oh, I would love to hear it. I just added these 2 songs to my playlist because that's what you can do, guys. This is gold, guys. We have gold here. Please join me in just celebrating this amazing band, these amazing people, huge hearts. Oh my gosh, just amazing. I love you both so much. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you to all the listeners and to the sponsors one more time. Thank you, Mr. BK Han. Without you, this show would not have existed. You guys, we're going to be back with season 8. But before we're back with season 8, we're going to have a big season finale with Jonix, Hardestry, David Duran. We've got Eva Burr. We have Melody and a few more surprises. All past guests on the Music Train next Sunday. Thank you again for everybody tuning in. My name is Vessy Mink. Thank you again to our sponsors. Let's go. What are we doing here?
Good question.
Well, I'm listening to Una. That's what I'm doing. And you should too, guys. Find Una everywhere at unamusic.net and linktr.ee/Una, UNA music. Also follow their discography, which you can see right over here. I'm going to drop it one more time. All of their songs are here. How cool is that? Discog, https www.discogs.com/artist 2660720-Una-6. And of course on X at Una Music, where I am oftentimes, and I hope I can bring you there for an interview for my friends all over the world to hear this amazing music that you're making live. Also, we could do a special concert series. We could do it all, guys. Thank you for supporting Music Train. Find Una also on all streaming networks, including iTunes and Spotify. And I can't wait to meet you in person and give you a big hug. You guys, thank you for tuning in. Here we go. We'll see you next week.
the ladder leans against the wall, and every man likes being tall. The mistress of the lion cage, 30 teeth are hard to gauge. She looks like Lorraine with tattoos all over her body. Don't miss the show again, all over her body. Don't miss the show again. It's carnival, we love to see who's a freak on the marquee. This jamboree, everybody's favorite. She walks the wire over the pavement, graceful in poise, even though she is drunk. She sits upon the elephant's trunk. Don't miss the show again. Graceful and poised. Don't miss the show again. You miss the show again. She swings in there on the trapeze. She kind of smiles, trying to appease. Step right up and take a peek. She promises not to speak. She'll wave her hands and shake her eyes. She dances with class. Don't miss the show again. Ooh, la 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 da. It's cold, but she'll wear her leotard. She's a bright, shiny star. Don't miss the show again. Don't miss the show again. You missed the show. Ooh, you missed the show.